Hi, welcome to Dark Horse Matters with Bev. This is a podcast where creative minds and ambitious souls can come to share their journey and just talk about what their pursuit is in life and what they're passionate about and the things that they want to do to make a difference in the world. And many of the people I interview on this show are entrepreneurs, business owners, creative people, just passionate people who, just want to make a difference. So today, my hope is to inspire people to just really identify inside themselves what makes them truly happy and makes them want to move forward and go after their dreams. So today, I'm really honored to introduce you to the guest that I invited today. Has truly been an inspiration to me for such a huge part of my life. And, since a very early age in life, I was probably like 19 or 20 when I first met her. My goodness. And she gave me my very first opportunity to work in a dental office in Los Angeles. And she is a powerhouse business owner, a female dentist, and she is a single mom. And she is very, very intelligent. She works with a lot of medically compromised patients. She specializes in medical emergencies. She served as a director of the operating room procedures at UCLA Dentistry, and was the first dentist to serve on the organization's heart and lung transplant team. How impressive is that? She's also been featured on many high profile TV shows like The Doctors. I haven't seen that episode yet. I'll have to look it up. And KCAL9's Best of LA. And also hit TV shows Flirty Dancing. I cried when I saw that episode, by the way. But anyway, she blows my mind on paper, but even more so in person. She is one of the most humble and generous people and most beautiful people I've ever met. So please give a warm welcome to Dr. Kari Sakurai, DDS. Yay!
Well, thank you so much, Bev. That was a very honoring introduction, and I am humbled by my presence with you and what you've done. You've done so much for yourself, for your children, and for the profession. So I am just honored and so proud to be acquainted with you.
Yay, thank you so much. Okay, so I just wanted to get started, just kind of going down memory lane because I mean, gosh, how long ago was it that we met each other? I mean, I was such a baby at the time, like I didn't know anything. I was just like, deer in the headlights, with everything when I moved to LA. But I just remember the first time I met you, I was actually a patient. I was in the chair and you were like, oh, what's going on in your life? That's how dentists do. They just make small talk. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to sell shoes anymore. And you were like, you want to work here? I was like, what? Pretty much got hired right out of the chair.
Right.
And I tell this story all the time because that's exactly how I got my job in the dental office back in high school. Same way. You want to work here? Like, it's just funny. Like, I was just been so blessed to have opportunities like that just came my way. And I just, you're so amazing. You let me train on the job. I didn't have to go to school for this, and I learned from the best. And it was just amazing. And one striking memory I have that has just resonated with me for my entire life. I don't even know if you remember this, but it was probably like a week after I started working with you. Everybody at the office left, and it was just me and you sitting in the front office. And you're asking me, what's your passion in life, Beverly? And I was like, I don't know. I was just young and I was like, is this a test question? What are you passionate about? And I remember I had to think about it hard. And I was like, I guess playing guitar, music, and my family. And, I felt ashamed when I said that because I, that was the two things that I kind of put on the back burner. I was focusing on just working and, going to school, all those kind of things. But when I looked at the time that I spent with my family and the time I spent doing what I loved, which was music, playing guitar, I hardly ever spent time on that. So I remember feeling ashamed that when you asked me that question, that was my answer, but
Mhm.
I wasn't paying attention to it. But then you went ahead and told me, you know what, if that's your passion in life, don't ever let it go. Like hold on to it. And no matter what you do in life, who you marry, how many kids you have, never let it go. And everything else in your life will fall into place. And, I just, every day, like when I go through life, find myself going back to what you said. And every time I feel like I hit a hurdle in my life, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel lost, I always look right back at that, and it just, it hits home, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. It helps me get back on track and figure stuff out. So I just thank you for that. Like it really resonated. That was the first week. I was, who is this woman? I just met her. She's getting like all deep, having a deep conversation with me, and I just met her. So I just really, really appreciate that. And I just wanted to tell you that I've remember that, and
Oh,
it's something that I've held on to my whole life. So thank you.
oh, thank you. I'm usually pretty good at spotting good-hearted people, and you are definitely one of the good ones for sure.
Aw. So can you tell the audience about yourself? Like, where did you grow up, and like how many siblings do you have? Like, where did you grow up? I know it was in California, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in Southern California, down in Orange County, and have one younger sister. She's up in Oregon currently, and professor of English literature. Talk about a 180 from me, the science nerd, right?
Yep. I
um,
do remember you and your nerd alert. I was like, you made nerdy cool though, I have to say that. So, like, in your family growing up, was it like super Japanese, like, just in culture, like in your household? Like, what was it like?
somewhat. My dad was like a mechanical engineer, so he was sort of my science nerd um, kind of mentor and role model. So dinner table conversations were kind of nerdy. So, and I kind of brought that on when I became a parent. It's like we talk about science things and why, if you know why if a dog eats green vegetables, um, and there's chlorophyll in there, there's not photosynthesis in dog poop. So, and that's why poop won't grow. I know, very pleasant dinner conversation, but it's about the science and you know what can happen, and just trying to allow the imagination to expand, and you come up with super funny, entertaining conversations.
Oh, I get it, man. And I loved it during quarantine when I got to stay home with my kids for 2 months. I never thought, I would ever experience being a stay-home mom feels like, and I got to experience it for 2 months. It was so amazing. And we had conversations like that all the time, like just
It's just
we did
funny.
science experiments. It was so much fun. Yeah, my kids were really into it. We made balloon rockets. We did
Oh,
like,
cool.
and I don't know if you saw my Instagram with my son and his little egg in the vinegar jar.
Oh
He
no.
like he had his little science, he was writing all his notes down and his observations. It was so
Oh,
cute.
cute.
I was like, yeah, a total nerd family, of course.
You learn from the best. You learn
Yep.
from you.
But I was thinking about you, like dentist. Like, what inspired you to become a dentist? Like, I mean, you and your sister are so different, and
Yeah.
what led you down that road?
Well, the difference, I think, is probably head trauma. We survived our dental class, and 90% of us, experienced some sort of head trauma. Me, I fell off my bike and like smashed my face and broke my nose. I wasn't worried about my broken nose, but I was worried about my chipped front teeth. So as a high schooler, that was like devastating, right? So my dentist was able to save those front teeth, and that's what inspired me, and that's really cool, and I want to be like him.
Wow, that's so cool. Wow. I experienced something like that recently. Like one of my patients, uh, he was inspired by the whole process of treating him with periodontal disease. And, he ended up applying for dental school after that whole process. He came
Oh.
in, I mean, he worked for a tire company, And then after the whole process of getting him healthy from, you know, from having periodontal disease and getting healthy and just, seeing the way we helped him, he literally got inspired and went to dental school. I just find
Oh,
that so like, that's what makes me love my job. You know what I mean? Like when you see that you can impact people in that way, for sure.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's so cool that that's how you got inspired to do what you do. Wow. That dentist, man, I give him a lot of credit. So, in your office, I mean, you went to UCLA for your dental school.
Yeah.
In your office, like, I mean, I just remember you just standing out amongst the crowd, like the ideas that you would come up with just to, I don't know, make patients just, have fun. You know what I mean? Like, and one of the things that stood out to me was like when the kids are doing their fluoride with the trays. We do fluoride varnish now, so we don't have to do that
Right.
anymore. But the trays would look like it was like yellow, and it looked like a duck bill,
Duck
duck
lips.
lips, duck lips. Yeah, I just remember the kids would like they would put the fluoride trays in their mouth and they would quack around the office, quack, 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 quack. It was so cute. The parents just appreciated that. It made the experience so happy and fun for the young kids, because if a traumatizing experience at a young age, that can like stay with you for the rest of your life. And I don't know, I just remember kids just not having a bad experience with you. Like, even though you're not a pediatric dentist, like a lot of pediatric dentists would refer their patients to you because they couldn't handle. And then, like our Christmas cards. I don't know if you guys still do that tradition, do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Well, we haven't lately, but we've got some of these Christmas cards in here that I don't know if you can remember.
Oh my gosh. I just remember like you were so funny when you sent these cards because you wouldn't put your name on the card. It would just be the address, and patients would be calling the office like, whose card is this? Like, like the wives would be like, is my husband getting pictures from women? And it's like, oh, it's the dentist because nobody recognizes you without all that, the
The
mask and the
stuff
goggles
on.
on.
Oh,
But you're like so fabulous and beautiful. So it's just funny. It was just a buzz that you created. Like, we would get so much phone calls after the Christmas cards would go out. So much fun. I miss that. I miss that. But I just, so much amazing experiences. Like even with like the medical emergency aspect, like man, the experiences that I got from working at your office, just the type of patients, the medically compromised patients, amazing. Like I just remember one patient who had cerebral palsy. I mean,
hmm.
when you look at him, you would not think that he could, function. But he used to drive to the office by himself in his chair, like with
Right.
this remote control, by one finger. But he couldn't communicate verbally at all. And I just remember us taking like 15 minutes once just to figure out that he wanted us to put his sunglasses on his head. And we were like, what do you want? Chocolate? And he would be like, trying to communicate. I just want you to put my sunglasses on my face. But, we figured it out eventually. But I just remember he sent us an email afterwards that was just eloquently written. And I mean, just, you would never think that his mind could write like that. Beautiful, the way he wrote the letter. And, it just, it was, and he just expressed his gratitude for everything that you did for him. And I just, these are the kind of stories that I remember, from working at your office, just the kind of people that you help. Like, it's so amazing that they have someone to turn to, because a lot of times when you can't communicate, like people don't really, they kind of give up or they just do it the best they can, but you really made them feel, well taken care of. So I remember that about working at your office.
Oh, well, thank you. And I had a great team to help me execute that. So thank you.
And the other thing that I remember was um, the you gave us a pop, like an emergency protocol. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
I,
I wanted to make sure that you guys were ready.
oh my gosh, it was so intense. Like I just remember me and Kim Jenkins, we were dental assistants, and the protocol was the emergency light communication system would go on and the room that the emergency was in would be lit. And when that never happened, like that never happened. But that day when we came into work, it happened. We were like, me and Kim were looking at each other like, oh my God, And then we go over there and then there was a CPR dummy like in the chair. And we were like, oh, what the heck's going on, And then we went through the whole protocol. We started doing it, and then you're videotaping us the whole time. And I just remember us, finishing, and we were like, okay, did our patient survive? And you're like, no, he died. We were like, why? And then you're like, well, if you guys would have looked at a little bit further, you would have seen in the waiting room there was it was like, I don't know, like just a hypothetical person there with the medical history, the medications and the medical history of the patient. And you're like, that is the most important thing when you're doing an emergency situation. So, and we missed that. So, yes, that's why our patient died. Oh man, that's like so. I mean, it just shows, how you just go a step further and making sure your team is prepared. So that is just so cool. I just really appreciate all that I learned from you. Yeah. So, can you tell us like any what's going on now, like in your office, like any new happenings, like any new members on board?
Yeah, we've got some new members on board. We're trying to expand and uh, well, especially with this COVID stuff, we're just trying to increase our knowledge base by taking more CE courses and things like that. Working now with some digital technology and digital workflow. So again, nerd alert, kind of fun, geeky stuff. So, and then just kind of fun stuff. We just recently were interviewed by, I guess, what's his name? Lawrence Fishburne in what's happening with new technologies in dentistry. So they came and did a little interview for us in our office. So that was
Oh,
kind of fun and unique. So always
cool.
fun to try to stay on top of everything and learn new things. And I'm just always in awe of how smart everybody has become. And there's just so much to learn. And technology has advanced so quickly and so far. It's just amazing.
It is amazing. And I just remember you were one of the first people I saw that had that CAD cam camera. Like you guys were doing Invisalign through that, and the CEREC crown. I don't know. Do you guys do CEREC
Yeah.
now too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that was like so new, back when you first started doing it. It was just new technology. Invisalign. I definitely remember being a guinea pig for you on that when it first came out, and I was like, I'm so lucky. I'm a guinea pig. Yeah. So I don't know. I just remember uh, because of this whole like what you specialize in. Do you have any stories, like any that you remember? Like, have you saved anybody's lives? Like, Have you ever had that encounter with anybody?
Yeah, well, not necessarily directly, but there's one patient that came in, his blood pressure was really high. You know how I always take a blood pressure before I start. It was just for just a prophy, right? And his blood pressure was doggone, it was like 210 over 110. It's like, this isn't right. And he goes, I'm just fine. Just do my cleaning, will ya? Like, no, let me take it again. Wait 5 minutes. I said, how are you feeling? Well, now I've got a headache because you're not cleaning my teeth yet. We're running behind schedule. It's like, your blood pressure's still 200 over 100 something. Let me check it one more time. If not, I'm going to send you to the ER. And he goes, no, just, you know, just do my cleaning. So we checked it again. It was still 200 over 100. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to call your doctor. So I called his doctor, and his doctor got him in right away. And that afternoon, he had a quadruple bypass. He could have had an
Wow.
MI in my chair. He could have died right there. And just pushing the envelope, making sure that what you're seeing is real, double checking it, and being confident enough to know that, okay, this is really what I see, and not letting sometimes the patient dictate what they want versus what you know that they need. And yeah, that's one that we saved his life.
It's just incredible that, I that I got to experience, working with someone who just really knows what to do in emergency situations. And, a lot of people just kind of hope, hope it's never going to happen, but it's so important to be prepared for everything like that. And I just think it's amazing, what you have done for your patients, and, just the fact that you're just if I were, when I worked there, I just felt safe,
Oh,
you felt
good.
safe that, if something were to happen, I know that it would be handled properly. And I'm sure all your patients feel that way as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, wh- let's talk about like your uh your experiences with all the new publicity that you've been getting. Like how are you getting this? Like how is this happening?
Just by fluke. It was absolutely by fluke. So, with the younger staff, they're like, oh, we've got social media. We can help educate patients even more and better. So that's when things sometimes they get imaginative and sometimes can be a little silly. So uh, was it last year we were caught on Instagram because we thought, okay, let's find something to celebrate. It's National Radio Day. Yay. So everybody, let's brush your teeth to your favorite radio song for 2 whole minutes. Woohoo. So we cranked it up in the office, and we were dancing around, brushing our teeth for the 2 minutes. And evidently some casting director picked it up and started calling the office. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, psh, go away. So they call again, make them set up an appointment. They probably need a cleaning or something. So they kept calling and calling. And one of my other patients happened to be a casting director. And she goes, well, Kari, let me check this out for you. And she goes, oh my gosh, no, this is like the real deal. And it was for flirty dancing. And they wanted to find somebody that could be a dancing dentist. So they interviewed me, and they said, no, you should do this. And my kids were like, yeah, mom, go 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 do this thing. It's like this dating reality kind of show. And being a single mom, and my kids were tired of me being in their hair all the time. So I actually went out and did this fun little show, and it was just an awesome experience. I had no clue what, the industry was like and what goes on behind the scenes to actually make like a 2-minute clip. Is huge, and just the people involved, and the logistics, and the amount of material that they had to film to actually cut back and make sure that you didn't burp on screen, and they didn't catch that, or you didn't trip over your feet.
You know that show was just filmed so beautifully. The cinematography, like the way they put it together, the editing, it was beautifully shot, everything. I was very impressed.
Yeah, they did it. They did it big, and I was, pretty impressed. And I was also very intimidated, because I was dancing on the deck of the Queen Mary, and there's drones like buzzing me. It's like, oh my gosh, they're like dive bombing you, and and I was like, it's hard to not be distracted when you're supposed to like focus and remember the 5, 6, 7, 8 and turn and not fall over the edge of the railing.
Oh my gosh. I, man, yeah, I thought that was so cool that you got to dance on the Queen Mary too. That was just beautiful. It was so beautiful. And man, that was such a cool episode. Like I cried when I
Oh,
watched it. I was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you."
thanks. It's kind of funny because for the little, they said, well, can you dance? I said, well, I don't know. They said, well, have you danced before? And as you well know, some of my background is I dance some hula. So they said, send me a clip dancing in your kitchen. So it's like I just turned on some Hawaiian music and did a little quick clip. I said, well, that's like how I dance. I don't know how you guys dance, if it's like going to be ballroom or whatever. And it was totally different because like in hula, you dance low to the ground, right? And then they put me in 3-inch heels. It's just like, this is like ridiculous. This is like nothing like
It's
anything
like
that I've ever done. I can't dance in heels. And I trip over my own feet. Keep me in tennis shoes.
it's like Dirty Dancing, that movie. You're like, nope, nope.
Yeah, exactly. Stand up straight.
Oh, spaghetti arms.
Yep. Posture, nose over toes.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like so much fun though. You look like you had a lot of fun.
It was a real quick deal. It was like I had 2 half hour like rehearsals, and then it was boom to film. It was just quick deal. It was fun. It was an experience I would not, have ever expected, and am glad for the experience.
Well, that's really cool. So I guess my last question for you is, what's next? Like what's next goal that you're working on toward for your business and your life? Like
Well,
what's your next passion that you're going
well,
after?
for business, hopefully I can expand enough to bring on an associate to help carry the torch, so to speak, and get a little extra time off and do a little traveling. There's some CE courses in Brazil and Sao Paulo. I'd love to go, and I know it's a little nerdy, but go learn some more in different parts of the world and experience other cultures and get a chance to just see and experience. And that's my next leg of life and my hope and dream.
That's awesome. You know what? I know that you're going to do it. Um, there's nothing stopping you, and whatever you plan for and you put forth, it's just going to manifest and it's going to come true. And you deserve it. You're the most hardest working person I've ever met, and you really deserve every bit of happiness that you have coming your way. And this is the time. This is the time to do it. I'm so happy for you. And I'm just so excited, that we've known each other this long and we still were, it took a while to get us back in touch, but it even took the pandemic to get there because I feel more connected to people now than ever before. Like I just made an effort to start reaching out to people when I had the time, during the quarantine.
Right.
I just started. I was like, this is the time I can actually talk on the phone for once. So, I just, even after I went back to work, it made me feel so good inside that I just kept doing it. And which is one of the reasons why it inspired me to start this podcast. So, I'm so happy. And you know what? I just wish you the best of luck and all your dreams are going to come true. I know
Well,
it will.
well, thank you, and you too. Congratulations on your successes, this new podcast, and moving forward, and being just a model, amazing mom as well. You're, I can see from your social media, your kids are so happy, and I am just so proud to know you.
Aw, thank you so much. All right. Oh, that's it for this week's episode, you guys. An amazing, amazing mom and business owner, and just an amazing person who just inspires so many people. Her patience and inspires me every day. So take care and God bless, and I will see you next week. Aloha.